out. Tell me what you guys think about this. Some of you guys heard me use that term inferiority privilege. And it's not just a racial thing. It's basically where somebody grants you permission to live below the standard in a certain way that they wouldn't accept from anybody else because of what you've been through. Whether you're used as an individual or you had a hard life in your family or whether it's your racial group. So they really don't try to hold you accountable the way they would another person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So check out what I read today. So here we go. So the American Astronomical Society has asked that no PhD programs, that PhD programs stop using the GRE exam in physics for applicants since too few women were doing well. So and in regards to medical school, in 2013 to 2016, medical schools nationally admitted 57% of the Black applicants with a low MCAT score of 24 to 28%, right? But they only admitted 8% of whites and 6% of Asians with those same low scores, according to Claremont McKenna professor Frederick Lynch. Is that helpful for us?
That's status quo.
That they let us in with lower scores. I mean, do you really want a doctor that score lower than everybody? Not really, but that's another story though. So
it sounds like, Voss, like not to like take away from what you're saying, but just the idea, like, so there's schools in my city that you got to score really well on,
right?
And it's predominantly you see a lot of certain people that are in that school because you got to take a test, you got to get within a certain bracket.
Right.
They check like your previous grades.
Right.
They check all these different things. And they're like, oh, well, the state test is kind of, whatever in New York State. So I think we should get rid of that. And I think we should get rid of that. The next thing you know, like you find yourself dropping the bar in a school that's elite because it's for kids, you know what I'm saying? Like it's elite for a reason. Step your game up.
So,
but now it's like you start finding ways to drop the bar, and then now you start letting.
So let me play devil's advocate.
Like I understand why affirmative action was needed. I understand that it's helped mad people, but is something like this helpful for our community or what?
So let me throw something in there, right? So is it possible that the test is constructed in a way that makes women at a disadvantage or other people groups at a disadvantage? Because, as far as education, they talk about different children learn different way, or things were set up, the educational system was by default beneficial to non-natives or things like that.
How about Asians ain't got no disadvantage nowhere?
Right. I'm about to say, like a lot of I think the school system set to be for factory workers, in my opinion.
I used to think that it was like,
right.
I used to think that it was like, yeah, because, sometimes the people coming from those countries are the cream of the crop of those countries. But again, I've been reading this book called The Triple Package, and it's about even. You got some people who come from these Asian countries who have money and privilege and are already educated, but a lot of them are like poor service workers who just, the culture in the crib is just different.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey.
I also say this though. I feel like with that being said, Voss, you said, is it good for us? I don't think it's definitely not a good thing for us. But I think that, every time they decide to move the goalposts with education, all it tends to do is devalue and water down the whole education process in itself altogether anyway. So it gives them ways and it gives them more means to justify, why now a bachelor's degree really ain't worth nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Right, that's
when
true.
the online schooling was first introduced, it was, hey, we're going to make this more affordable for everybody. But then you got folk in the world of academia that's like, oh, you got a joint from DeVry. Oh, that's nothing. You see what I'm saying?
You're joining from Phoenix? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So it's like, I see that. I even see that amongst the Christian elitists where, you got some cats who they're trying to knock those that got honorary PhDs versus, I earned my PhD, by the way, or I got a real PhD from a real accredited college.
Right.
This is what they start to do anyway. So now, the intentionality sounds good theoretically, but when they do this and they make the adjustments to that testing, trust me, 5 years from now, they're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, you went and got that kind of degree where they kind of bypass the testing. Nah, it's smoke and mirrors.
That's what Jordan Peterson's been saying about universities. He's like, he ain't putting no stock in university. The university game has become very weak in education, in their pursuit of education, and their pursuit of academia. That's why you see so many like whack degrees out there.
Yo,
Like you go to school, just like all these degrees. Like, okay, I get a degree in gender studies. Like, that's going to give me a $90,000 job when I leave to pay off this student loan debt. Like,
come in his degree.
Hell no.
That debt real, but that debt real though.
Right, that debt is 100% real.
Debt real.
It's 100% real. I'm slowly knocking it down. It's very real. That's the only debt that you cannot escape.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I got a homie who spent $100,000 here at the school that I'm going to. I spent 4 stacks. That's it. And we both got he's social work. Like he ain't gonna be making that bread. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not a doctor or something. You're going to
he's gonna make he's making $13 an hour when he leave college. That's it.
Man,
yeah.
Right.
So we just did the math like last week. Like we went through our payment plan thing and to count up all the payments that we made from either our family or with scholarships, whatever we earned. Yeah. Crazy. So
that's crazy. What you
I'm
studying,
English. What? I'm English, yeah.
Oh, so, English. Right.
I know somebody got 2 degrees right now, and no disrespect to anybody if this your heritage, but they work like a Jamaican, man, or a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about got a 9 to 5, gotta do Uber, doing Amazon, you know what I'm saying? Then doing the Uber Eats. And I'm like, fam, you got 2 degrees, you know what I'm saying? For what?
I was talking to my pops earlier, and I was like, yo, I ain't heard from my cousin. Where my cousin at? He's like, he got 4 jobs, that lazy little
that lazy 4 jobs.
It's like, yo, he works 6 days a week. Like, yo, there's 7 days a week.
But that's the difference. That's the difference between immigrants and Americans, man. It's not a black or white thing. Americans are lazy and blacks were already behind. So if everybody was going like this and then we start going down, who's going to hit the bottom first?
Come on.
I don't think immigrants had daddies and mothers like the government like we do, man. Like I said yesterday, man.
They don't feel that security of the safety net.
Man, they want the government to be their mommy and daddy, man. That's all they want. Send that check.
And that's the difference now. Now people hip to it. Like you come to the United States, it might be a sweet thing for you. It ain't like come here and make it happen, eke out a living. Now it's like, yo, they giving out free Medicare?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, $1,000 a month? Give me a place to stay?
Oh, yeah.
Cover my groceries?
Yeah.
Man, I'm good.